Well, welcome to your 2023 June Wine Club selection. I wrote a little bit in the note that went out, but I always like talking about the wines just a little bit to let you know what you're getting, when to drink it, what to have it with, that kind of thing. And so let's just jump right into this. There are 5 wines in total in all of the club shipments this time. And you're going to note that 2 of them are rucksack wines. And part of that is because the last 2 vintages and losing so much in terms of crop and everything, the inventory is getting smaller. And so I'm picking and choosing from different things. And remember that the rucksack wines, that's like my little playpen area. I'd play around with different things that I wouldn't necessarily do at Madrona. And the Madrona, of course, is the heart and soul of the terroir-driven wines and whatnot. So first and foremost, let's talk about in the White Wine Club, you're getting 2 rosés. I know, not really white wine, but pretty darn close. 2 dry rosés. You have the Rucksack Barbera Rosé and you have the Grenache Rosé. You're gonna get 2 bottles of each one, perfect all the way through summer. Second, we have the Special Release Club, which has a bottle of the Syrah, of the 2020 Syrah, that's a brand new release, a bottle of the 2019 Cabernet Franc, Signature Collection, that's a brand new release as well. You also get a bottle of the Rosé, the Grenache Rosé, and then finally you get a bottle of our Bordeaux blend, the Cache, which means the hidden thing, from Rucksack Cellars, and we'll get into that just a little bit more. And then lastly, as I juggle these bottles around, we have the club for the red wines, the Rocks Club. You get 2 bottles of the Syrah, the Signature Collection Syrah, and 2 bottles of the 2019 Signature Collection Cabernet Franc. So let's get into this. Let's talk about the rosés first. Grenache Rosé. Grenache Rosé is 100% Grenache, just a beautiful expression, kind of a floral note on this wine, and then all the strawberry and like ruby grapefruit characteristics. The nice thing about the Grenache Rosé is it's got a really low pH to it, like 3.09. It's dry, it's a dry rosé. 3.09, but the acid level is about like 5.5 grams per liter, so you don't end up getting like an aggressive style of rosé. And this color here, onion skin, okay, or salmon, people call it too. Very classic in its color. Just a beautiful expression this 2022. Just a fun rosé to go with paella, go with almost anything that you're going to put on the grill, and actually it can go with grilled chicken too. So enjoy. Drink in the next year. You're also going to get 2 bottles of the Rucksack Barbera Rosé. Now this is actually about 25% Grenache and 75% Barbera, but you're going to note that this one has a little bit more vibrancy to it, has almost a tropical characteristic like papaya and whatnot in the nose, as well as all the red cherry characteristics. But this one, even though the pH is a little bit higher on it, it also has a lot more acid to it. It's got about 7.5 grams per liter. And so what you end up getting is a wine that has a little bit more brightness to it, but just a hint of residual sugar. This one's running, I think, about 0.2%. And so you end up getting this kind of more rounded fruit mouthfeel to it. 2 great expressions of rosé, certainly very, very different, but both will go with summertime, okay? So 2 bottles each in the White Wine Club, and then you get 1 bottle of the Grenache Rosé in the Special Release Club. Neither one was a large production, 85 to about 103 cases on each one. They'll sell out by the end of the summer. So if you like them, get them now. Next, moving into the red wines, let's start with the Rucksack Cache. This is a Bordeaux blend, or a blend of Bordeaux varieties that we grow. It's cab-based, about 35% Cabernet Sauvignon. Then it's got about 27% Malbec and about 23% Merlot, a bit of Cabernet Franc, 10-11% or something, and then the last part of it, just a splash of Petit Verdot. The cab gives the base foundation of cherries and some herbal kind of savory notes to it. The Malbec gives the color. Look at this wine, and it's pitch black in its color. Just a great expression once again. But you're gonna get a wine that is really good with food. So think a little bit more onto like chili stew type part of things. It'll go with meat, but keep it simple if you're gonna just grill it. You know, do a dry rub or something like that, and it does love fat. So anything that's got great texture and fat, if you're gonna do up some mushrooms or whatever, do them up in butter, and watch how this wine goes with it. Ageability. Yeah, I could put this down for another, say, it's an 18, but for another, 5 to 7 years, which would make it, what, about 2030? And it's just gonna improve with that Cabernet backbone foundation. It's gonna get good. So, moving on. 2020 Syrah. Super black in its characters. Wonderful nose, get this kind of blueberry, blackberry character going on, and this roasted meat, high elevation Syrah thing that most areas can't get. It's 100% Syrah, so this is like purity of the purity part thing. This is off of our Enier vineyards out in Pleasant Valley. Oh, put a little bit behind your ear and just, it's like perfume, it's wonderful. Now you taste it. It's a big wine. A lot of upfront fruit, tannins on the backside, structure. You're gonna be able to age this out or have it with big foods. So once again, lamb and duck, those kind of things. Once again, things that have a bit of fat or richness to it. Aubergine is really good if you're gonna do a ratatouille or whatnot with it, or moussaka. Wonderful with Syrah. When you taste this wine though, you can tell that if you could get another like 5, 7, 8 more years on this wine, it's gonna tame those youthful tannins. So either have it with food or age it out until like 2030, 2032, if you have that kind of willpower. Secondly, don't be afraid of leaving some in a bottle and having it the next night. That extra amount of oxygen is really nice. So if you were gonna use an aerator, you might use an aerator on this wine or decant it, and you'll end up getting a little bit more plushness out of it, even though it's got this very enveloping body to it. So Rocks Club gets 2 bottles of this, 1 to age, 1 to drink with food. The Special Release Club gets 1 bottle of this to choose as you want. We made about 240 cases of this wine, so we'll have it for a little while, and we're just releasing it now. Just releasing it to the club, not available to anybody else yet. And then lastly, Cabernet Franc. 2019 Cabernet Franc off of our vineyards over by the Madrona tree, planted in, 1973, but grafted the Cabernet Franc about 1984. And this is clone 1, so it's a structure-oriented clone. So lots of like violet and floral characteristics in the nose, which is classic Cabernet Franc. More of the blue fruit cherry aspects of the variety as well. And then this layering of complexity, some savory spice, some tea characteristics, really pretty, but it has a little bit more acid. So not only is it gonna age really nicely, but you wanna have something like a dish that has some richness to it. It can really go well with pastas. We do it with homemade raviolis, and watch how it cuts through the starchiness because of the great acidity in this. I think the pH on this wine is about 3.47, so it's a little bit on the lower side, which will bode well for not only that food friendliness, but the ageability. So you want to look at maybe drinking this wine. You know, gosh, we just had these bunch of Cab Francs. We had the 87, the 85, the 89 yesterday when we were tasting through for the 80s dinner, and they're all tasting great. So, gosh, I don't know, 2035? Another 10 years, 10, 12 years, and watch this wine just kind of mature into its own, or have it with food. So the Rocks Club gets 2 bottles of this. The Special Release Club gets 1 bottle of this. Do with it as you want. We have enough of it. We made 399 cases of this Cabernet Franc. And remember, Cabernet Franc is one of the most versatile wines in the world. It'll go with anything you put next to it. So, cheers to the June Wine Club, and cheers to you guys for all the support that you give us over the years. And we hope that you enjoy these wines as much as we loved making them and now enjoying them. So, adios.